Hello, this is Jess. This is chat session number 126, March 6, 2018. It's Tuesday. It's about 4:20. Woohoo, 4:20 p.m. And not going to be any tidbits of history today. I've got to be at work at 5, and I've just been out of it. I've been tired, and I sort of was sick a little bit earlier, so I'm just running a little bit crazy, but going to work, and thought I better try to get this in while I can. I do get a lunch at 9, but I didn't want to push it that far. Trying to keep these rolling. So work in about 35 minutes. I only live about 5 minutes away from my job, so it's good. And I've already done all my stuff. I'm ready. I'm just thought I would throw this in before I left. Like I say hello to my parents. Hope everything's alright. Hope everything's going well for y'all. Everything's going okay here. Anyway, like I said, I'm a little bit out of it. I just got ready to go to work and realized, some things. And so, seeing all this stuff, I guess today's a voting day, and unfortunately for me and my responsibility as a citizen to go vote, I failed in that task. It doesn't make me a good person or a bad person. It just means that I didn't vote. I should have. There's really not any reason why I shouldn't have, but I didn't, and I'm going to work now, so I won't be. So I won't be playing in the political system. Hopefully, people will use their critical thinking instead of their political thinking to cast their ballots to get the best candidates. I don't have a whole lot of room to say anything because I didn't do it, but I still hope that people will use their minds to get stuff done and make the right person in for the office for our state. The hatred and the center emptying out and everyone running to one side over these issues concerning our government, concerning policy, concerning everything from racism to gun control to everyone being offended by everything else. And yeah, that's something I'd like to go ahead and address. Why are people offended so easily? You see something that you don't like, you have choice. You can sit there and watch what you don't like, you can sit there and talk about what you don't like, or you can walk away from it. Just my opinion, all this crybaby crap that goes on. Oh, he offended me by what he did or what he said or what he was watching or whatever. Quit being offended and just start taking action and control yourself. No reason to be offended because there's a show on TV that's against your religion, or there's a cartoon in the comics, where you got to go out and kill people because there's some cartoon came out because you were offended. Just get over it. I mean, everything doesn't have to be directed to each individual when it comes to things, satire, comic, and seriousness and all that stuff. Get over yourself. Quit being offended. You don't like something, to get away from it. I don't understand. I was never forced to watch something I didn't want to watch. I just got up and left. Went to a different part of the house or went outside or anything. I never was like, oh, that offends me. No, I don't play that crap. You're offended, you have a problem. Get away from it. Are things offensive? You bet they are. But does that mean you got to sit there and cry about it? No. It means you got to get off your ass, get on your 2 feet, and get away from whatever it is that offends you. But instead you want to cry about it. It's unfair. It's against my religion. It's against me. It's against my way I cut my hair or the way I drive my car or whatever. Who cares? Get over the offensiveness shit. Grow up. Get a set. Something. I'm just so tired of hearing that word. It's offensive to somebody else. If you don't like the Pledge of Allegiance, get out of there. You don't like this country, get out of the country. You don't like the way I look, don't look at me. I don't know. Am I offensive to you? I don't know. I'm not saying you can't live here and have an opinion, because I do. But I'm not offended by any of it. I'm not surprised by anything anymore. And being offended is the least of my concerns. I just think it's so ridiculous. I don't know why I'm ranting on this so much, but yeah, it really bugs me when people, I was offended. Well, fucking go on. Get offended somewhere else. Crybabies. You know, like I said, if you don't like something, change it. But don't go crying out there, it was offensive to me. Ooh. And I don't like it, and I'm going to change it. But don't sit there and sit down and say, there's nothing I can do, it was offensive to me. They made a movie, and it showed something that I didn't like. Ooh. And maybe that's how certain things work, you know. Enough people say they're offended, and it makes it bad for everybody. No, I disagree. Well, an example would be at work with the music that plays, and sometimes the bosses will come over and say, hey, you're going to ruin it for everybody by turning it up too loud, so I turn it down. If someone politely deals with me, I'll politely deal with them. So, again, just, I'm sorry if you're offended, but don't cry. Don't cry about it. Just get on. Make the change. Do something. Get some cojones. Something. But being offended is not a reason to give up. Hell, everybody's offended every day, but people just go on with their lives. I'm offended that I gotta go to work. But I don't cry about it. I go to work. I don't cry. Or at least I try not to. I might sometimes, but I try not to. Works against my religion. Yeah, okay. All that crap. I've heard everything. So, just because somebody has a view and they say it, sometimes it's not directed to specifically to one individual. You know, sometimes it's directed to everybody. And all these people come out crying, I'm offended, oh, you offended me, it's wrong. I think that if somebody wants to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, they should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. If someone wants to sit down, they should sit down. If someone doesn't want to hear it, they need to get away from it. But you to sit here and say they shouldn't do it and you control everything because you're offended is a bunch of bullshit. Quit being offended, or go to somewhere else and go to another place to live, another country, whatever. Quit being offended. That is such a, I don't know why I hate that so much, but I do. I hate that, being offended. Get up, get your freaking pants on, get your shoes on, and walk away from whatever's offending you, or freaking, I don't know. But you also don't need to be aggressive to it, like go and start killing people because somebody did something that was offensive to you. You have to have control of yourself. Just get away from whatever offends you. I hate that word, offend. I'm offended. I hate that. It's just something started. I don't know why we allowed it. Maybe we should you know. And again, it's your right to be offended. I'm not going to come over there and beat you down for it. But you don't got to cry to me about it or cry to somebody else about it, how it was offensive to you or your race or your religion or whatever. I'm so tired of all that. Quit being offended. On to other news. Arming teachers for safety of the students. Yeah, that's going to help a lot. Already one teacher's already fired the gun off in school and had a breakdown, and Could have gotten worse. Could have killed all the kids in the room before he decided. You can't just give anybody guns. Sorry, you can say that all you want to, but everyone doesn't need to have one. I saw a photograph of I don't know, 7 or 8 people that were standing around Ronald Reagan when he was shot, and they all had guns, but Ronald Reagan still got shot at. I just don't understand the logic of, if there's enough guns, someone's going to stop the violence. No, because everyone will keep shooting. I mean, maybe I'm just narrow-minded in that, but you die by the sword, you live by the sword. You die by the sword, you live by the gun. You die by the gun. Violence begets violence. So just get over it. Go get your guns, run around like a bunch of wild yahoos, but just don't shoot kids. I mean, come on. I'm for people having the right by our government's Second Amendment. It doesn't mean you got to have every gun in the book. Alright, this is Jess. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Have a great Tuesday. Bye.